The Lassonde family, like so many other families in Quebec, hails from a farming background. In 1916, Aristide Lassonde started building a cannery, an idea he had been mulling over for several years. There weren't even a dozen canneries operating in Canada at that point. Construction wrapped up in time for the 1918 harvesting season. That first year, the company marketed its canned tomatoes under several private labels. The cannery was upgraded in 1921 with more modern and more efficient equipment. By 1925, Lassonde & Fils was producing a steady enough supply to break into the Montreal market. The Rougemont brand made its first appearance in 1928 on the company's canned tomatoes. Founder Aristide Lassonde died in February 1944. His son Willie Lassonde took over the day-to-day operations and continued to grow the business. 10 years later, Willie Lassonde became the sole owner. The first canned clear apple juice marketed under the Rougemont brand debuted in 1959. Sales that year climbed to $225,000. On July 3, 1962, Willie Lassonde decided to incorporate Lassonde & Fils to ensure the company's continuity. By 1964, 5 years after the first clear apple juice had been rolled out, several new canned goods were available through Rougemont. Peeled apple slices, corn on the cob, creamed corn, orange juice, grape juice, an orange grapefruit juice blend, and fruit punch. In February 1967, Lassonde & Fils purchased the assets of Les Brages Montclair in Saint-Michel, Quebec, as well as its inventory, machinery, client lists, and Oasis trademark. Everything was relocated to the plant located on 5th Avenue in Rougemont. The company landed a contract in 1969 to manufacture Freddy brand spaghetti and pizza sauce, thereby freeing the plant of its dependency on seasonal products. Additional juice flavors were introduced in 1970. That year, Lassonde's sales topped the $1 million mark. In 1977, the company acquired part of Cooperative Montérégienne, a nearby apple juice manufacturer and local market competitor. It became a subsidiary of Lassonde & Fils and was renamed Les Aliments Montrouge Foods. In 1978, the iconic Lassonde logo was created by George Hewitt. In 1979, the company took a bold step forward by making ready-to-drink apple, orange, and grapefruit juice available in a semi-flexible, laminated HYPA 1-liter container. This was a first in North America. The Rougemont apple juice label gradually started to shift to a new design featuring the depiction of an orchard instead of an all-white background. In 1981, September 3rd to be precise, Lassonde Industries was incorporated under the Canada Business Corporations Act. That same year, an innovative new process for clarifying fruit juice known as Clarifruit was developed. In 1982, Lassonde & Fils kicked off a public relations activity that would eventually become an annual event, a free family apple picking day for its partners and associates. Lassonde Industries began to diversify in 1984 with the acquisition of Vaconut brand, a company specializing in the import, processing, and marketing of nuts and peanuts. In 1985, Lassonde & Fils introduced flexible, aseptic, single-serve boxes for its Oasis line of ready-to-drink juices, making it the first company in the world to use this packaging method. By 1986, Lassonde was riding high and introduced a line of nuts and dried fruits under the Oasis brand. The products were manufactured at Vaconut and marketed through Lassonde & Fils. The next year, Lassonde announced the most important transaction in its history. It went public on May 14, 1987. Listing its shares on the Montreal Stock Exchange. 1988 marked Lassonde's 70th anniversary, which it celebrated by launching a special Rougemont apple juice promotion and rolling out a slew of new products, including Frutina desserts. In 1989, 8 Oasis fruit juices were packaged in a new 200ml Tetra Slim container, replacing the former Urca technology. Lassonde teamed up with the Montreal Marathon in 1990 as an event sponsor. This marked Lassonde's first foray into the corporate sponsorship world. That same year, annual sales hit $100 million. In 1991, Lassonde pitched in to help set up the Tel Jeune Youth Helpline, printing the telephone number on all 200ml Oasis juice boxes. The partnership is ongoing to this day. In 1993, just as the company turned 75, it began to sell its products on the U.S. market. A strategic alliance was formed with U.S.-based Clement Papas in 1994 to share technology and leverage the sales and distribution networks on both sides of the border. Lassonde International was created in 1995, the same year the company picked up the Just Pour Le Client Award for consistently making customer satisfaction its #1 priority. In 1996, Lassonde subsidiary Produit Ronald launched its website, the first member of the Lassonde Group to do so. In 1997, a major worldwide promotion was launched linking the Fruité brand to the Backstreet Boys at the height of their popularity. A severe ice storm hit Greater Montreal in early 1998. Later that year, Lassonde Industries' website was launched and the Fruité brand became a sponsor of the Boston Marathon. The company took home a gold award from the Montreal Publicity Club in 1999 for turning the Montreal biosphere into a giant orange to promote the launch of its Oasis Florida premium juice. Starting in 2000, Fruité brand drinks and Allen's juices became available in clear plastic bottles with a sports top. Lassonde acquired Ontario-based Golden Town Apple products in 2002 and once again introduced several new products in a fresh new packaging design. Lassonde celebrated its 85th anniversary in 2003. Pierre-Paul Lassonde took over the company reins as both the chair of the board of directors and the president and CEO. 2004, Lassonde acquired the assets of All Fresh Beverages Canada Corporation, specifically its plant in Toronto, and brands Everfresh, Sunlight, Fairly, Tropical Grove, and Rich and Ready. The new subsidiary was renamed Lassonde Beverages Canada. A visual branding campaign was launched with the tagline, "Oasis, we're part of the family." 2005 saw the company sponsor its first race outside of Quebec with the Allen's Family Challenge. The company grew again in 2007 with the acquisition of the assets involved in manufacturing and marketing McCain Foods' ready-to-drink juices and drinks. 2009 marked the launch of a mega warehouse in Rougemont. In attendance for the ceremony was Quebec Premier Jean Charest. In 2011, Lassonde acquired Clement Papas & Company, the second largest manufacturer of private labeled fruit juices and drinks in the United States, and a leading producer of cranberry juices, drinks, and sauces. In 2013, a $19 million investment was made to modernize the company's facilities in Rougemont. The same year, Lassonde was ranked as one of the top employers in Quebec in a survey by Aon Hewitt. In 2014, the company acquired Apple & Eve, a nationwide brand in the U.S. Jean Coutusseau was presented with the prestigious Golden Pencil Award in 2015 in recognition of his career-long contributions to the Canadian food industry. Lassonde continued to expand its health and wellness segment throughout 2016 and 2017 with a selection of new low-calorie products. And here we are on the brink of 2018, when we'll be celebrating a century of tradition, innovation, and leadership in the food industry. It promises to be an exciting, fun-filled year. Happy 100th anniversary to Lassonde, a true Canadian success story.